We had booked to go see Route 91. We had the tickets for about 6 to 7 months. So this is something planned well in advance. And we were there solely to see the concert for 3 days. Attended the first 2 days. Third night, getting ready to go to dinner. Go to the concert. Meet them near the end of the concert, and we'll go there afterward. We had our wristbands on, everything ready to go. We ended up going to dinner. At dinner, we received a text from our friends in all caps: "Stay away, shooter, stay away, stay away." We really didn't know what to make of it, but then, 3 to 4 minutes later, people start running into the restaurant because we were at a site fairly close to the venue. 6 or 7 people actually came right past our table and stopped, and they confirmed what we had received by text, that there was an active shooter. We all stood up and got near the back of the restaurant behind a brick wall, just because there was a lot of reporting where there were multiple shooters. There was even a report of potential bomb. So we were not able to figure out if it was a sole shooter or multiple shooters or so forth. So we hung out there for about 20-25 minutes using our phones and texting and trying to get some information to see what's safe, what's not safe. We decided that we wanted to make it back to our hotel room. It seemed like it calmed down a little bit. We left the restaurant. There was some news on the TV by that time. It still was pretty garbled about what was fact and what was just rumored. And we started making our way through a mall that we could get an Uber on the other side of the mall. About halfway through the mall, someone either knocked something down or something fell, and it created a loud bang. There was a yell of a shooter, and the mall panicked, and people were running every different direction. Me and my fiance, we decided to jump in there was a Guess clothing store of all things, and we jumped in there. The store clerk looked at me, and he had heard a little bit what was going on. He saw the panic, and we both agreed to close it down and lock ourselves in. So we locked ourselves in a Guess clothing store for about an hour and a half to 2 hours to make sure everything was calmed down. People didn't want to leave, and we ended up leaving after about an hour and a half or so to try to catch a Uber away from the strip back to we were staying at the Palms Hotel. Grabbed an Uber and headed back, and got back about 3:30 in the morning, and didn't sleep a single wink. By the time I got back home to Klamath, I'd been up 40 hours straight, and it was a pretty intense moment. So we may not have gone to dinner, but earlier that day we had basically won a voucher for a free dinner. That's what kind of leaned us towards just go use this dinner. Wow. And yeah,
fate said go have dinner.
Exactly. Otherwise, we probably would have just gone, not used the free dinner. So the way the venue's set up, if you're facing the screen, the right side of the venue is the right forward side is what would be closest to the Mandalay Bay, and in the area that we were in is where people were being hit, and our friends were there in that area waiting for us, and that's where we set up camp the 2 previous nights. So we could not have been in a more dangerous place. That's not where you want to be, and we would have been right there in harm's way. So we were very, very fortunate. Even the pictures of where people were hit were very, very familiar. That's where we were. So that's scary. No, I didn't know anybody injured. Our friends, fortunately, were safe. They were definitely in the middle of it, and they had to definitely run, ducking for cover. And we heard from them a little bit later. They went to a near place that was associated with the airport and got on lockdown there. And they were both safe, but they were right in the middle of it. Couldn't be any closer. So, and to hear the sounds from various people's phones about the gunshots and how, that's just tons and tons of shots being just rained down on everybody, and to think that you were there, right where you could get hit, it's just really scary. Not where it's at. The thing that really strikes me is, especially in the mall that I was at, how easily panic spreads. Just one sign falling, one person saying something, and how, then thousands of people can panic, running all different directions, nobody really slowing down to figure out what's going on, and how many people could have got hurt even completely away from the site, and how people really just lose it. And I'm sure some people who are trained step up. We were fortunate, my fiance and I handled it well. We just stepped into that store and locked it down. But other people running for it and pushing their way through, and the sheer panic away from it, and how it spread all the way down the strip. And we were in just one small place, and I'm sure there were a number of stories like this everywhere, where people just panicked and other people got hurt from the panic. And so they said it was very, very difficult because of the number of people running, and they did find the exit fairly quickly. They said surprisingly quickly, but they said the initial panic of people running, you just didn't want to be in that panic. Once that left, then it was better the second or third wave of people going out. But that first wave was dangerous, very dangerous, they said. So.
And how many people do you think were down there at that festival?
I've heard numbers about 25,000, and I could easily believe that.
Would you say that you felt safe those first couple of nights down there at Vegas?
I did. I did, just from an ignorant standpoint, that nothing like this has ever happened. That you don't think about outside. You think about, okay, what can someone do inside? But you see everything scanned and bags checked and so forth. So can there be a machine gun snuck in? I don't see how that's even possible. But it never really occurred to me that a building 150 yards away could be looking down at us and with a gun. I did not realize that could be so dangerous. I had no idea. I guess, being from Klamath, quite a bit about guns, and people shoot that far all the time. The big question is, would I go next year?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I would. I just there's just too much risk. I got my kids and my fiance, and I like to have a great time, but now looking back at how easy it could happen again, or a different venue, something like this might not be worth it. So it's unfortunate that something like this can change, your ability to enjoy yourself anymore going forward. So it's definitely has left a mark.